You ever feel like English has this secret code? A special way of talking about things that aren't quite real? Like wishes or big demands or those what-if situations? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. It's called the subjunctive mood. And trust me, it's hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so check this out. How does this sentence sound to you? The manager demanded the report be completed. That little word, be, does it sound just a little strange? I mean, your brain is probably screaming for an is or a was, right? But here's the thing. That's not a mistake. Nope. That's actually the subjunctive in action. Yeah, that little grammatical twist, that's the subjunctive. And I know what you're thinking. It sounds super formal, maybe a little old-fashioned, but really, it's everywhere. It's kind of like English's built-in tool for talking about all the stuff that isn't a hard fact. Suggestions, big wishes, all those what-if scenarios.
So what is this thing officially? Well, the subjunctive is a grammatical mood. And right away, let's be clear, this has nothing to do with being happy or sad. In grammar, mood is all about the vibe of the sentence. And the subjunctive mood is our signal that we're stepping away from solid, concrete facts and wandering into the world of possibilities, demands, or just plain old imagination.
Okay, so here's a really important distinction to get this. We gotta separate mood from tense. Think of it like this. Tense is super straightforward. It's the time on the clock. It tells you when something is happening. Past, present, future. Easy enough. But mood is more like the speaker's attitude or their perspective. Are they just stating a fact? Are they making a demand? Or are they just daydreaming? That's where the subjunctive comes in.
All right, let's dive into the first big category. This is the one you're going to see all the time, especially in places like work emails or more formal situations. It's called the command subjunctive. Basically, you can just think of it as the subjunctive for getting things done.
So what's it for? Well, it's all about expressing things like requirements, strong suggestions, or demands. It's the grammar you pull out when you're talking about something that's necessary or really important. It puts up a big flag that says, hey, this should be happening, even if it isn't happening right now.
And you know what? The formula for this is actually super simple. It's like a little recipe. Step 1, you start with a trigger word, something like suggest or demand. Step 2, you add the word that. Step 3, you pop in your subject. And then, and this is the most important part, so listen up, you use the base form of the verb. That means no s's on the end, no ing, no to in front of it, just the plain, bare-bones verb. So what are these trigger words? Well, here are some of the most common verbs you'll see. When you see words like insist, recommend, or request, and they're followed by the word that, your little grammar antenna should start buzzing. It's a massive clue that a subjunctive is coming right up, like in I insist that he apologize. See? No apologize is, just apologize. But wait, there's more. It's not just verbs that can kick this off. Adjectives that scream this is important do the exact same thing. So when you hear phrases like it is crucial that or it is vital that, you know the drill. You're going to see that same pattern. For instance, it is vital that she be on time. Not is, but be. Okay, but what if you want to make it negative? This is super easy, but it's also where a lot of people trip up. Here's the trick. You just put the word not right before that base verb. That's it. So you'd say they requested that he not leave. The big mistake people make is trying to use don't or doesn't. But with the subjunctive, you keep it clean and simple, just not. All right, you ready for the next one? We're going to shift gears a bit. We're leaving the world of commands and suggestions and heading straight into the land of imagination. This is the what-if subjunctive. It's the one we use for all those hypotheticals, wishes, and any situation that's just, well, not real. This is so cool because the verb itself becomes a little secret signal that what we're saying isn't actually true. It's basically the official grammar of daydreaming. It's what you use when you're giving advice for an impossible situation or just letting your mind wander and ask, what if? And here is where you can really see the magic happen. Let's look at two sentences that seem almost identical. First, if I was rude, I apologize. Using was there suggests it's a real possibility. I might have actually been rude. But now look at this. If I were you, I would apologize. Using were, that's the subjunctive, sends a completely different message. It signals that this is impossible. I can't be you. That one little word flips the whole thing from a real possibility to a pure hypothetical. How cool is that? And this isn't just for if sentences, by the way.
You'll see this word subjunctive pop up all over the place, usually after phrases that set up an unreal situation. Things like, I wish. For example, I wish I were on a beach right now. Or as if. He acts as if he were the boss. Every single time, it's a little flag that says, hey, there's a gap here between what's real and what we're imagining. Okay, time for our third and final category. This one's my favorite. I like to call them grammar's living fossils. These are these old, fixed phrases where the subjunctive has been perfectly preserved for hundreds of years. It's like a little piece of history just hanging out in our everyday speech.
The best part about these, you don't have to worry about any rules or formulas at all. You just learn them as a complete chunk. They're these little time capsules that give us a peek into the history of English. You just memorize them as they are. I bet you use one of these all the time without even realizing it. Think about when someone sneezes, we say, God bless you. Ever wonder why it's not God blesses you? It's because it's not a statement of fact. It's a wish, a hope. And that missing S at the end, that's the telltale sign of the subjunctive. Or how about this classic from the movies, Long Live the King? Again, that's not a news update on how long the king is actually living. It's a hope, right? A powerful desire. And that's 100% subjunctive. And let's do one more. The phrase, so be it. What a powerful little phrase, right? It's like you're accepting something, almost commanding it to be true. It's this amazing mix of a wish and a command, and it is pure distilled subjunctive. All right, so we've looked at the three big ways the subjunctive shows up. Now, let's pull all of this together into a simple toolkit that you can actually use so you can start spotting this stuff in the wild and using it like a pro. And here's the best part. You really don't need to go memorize a textbook full of rules. Honestly, if we just focus on dodging the most common mistakes, you'll be pretty much set. It all comes down to just a couple of key patterns. Okay, mistake number one, this is by far the biggest one. People adding an S to the end of the verb. You have to remember, after those trigger words like suggest that or it is vital that, the verb has to stay in its simplest, barest form. So it's always, I suggest that she go, never that she goes. And the second big trap is trying to stuff extra words in there, like to or will. The subjunctive is all about being clean and simple. You don't need anything else, just the subject and that base verb. So it's, they demanded that he leave, not that he to leave or that he will leave, just leave. That's it. Clean, direct, perfect. And there you have it. English's so-called secret code maybe isn't so secret anymore, right? It's hiding out in our suggestions, our wildest wishes, and even in these little fossilized phrases from history. You've got the toolkit now. You know what to look for. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the code, where are you going to spot the subjunctive next? Maybe in an email from your boss tomorrow? Or in a movie this weekend? Or maybe even in the next wish you make for yourself? Keep your ears open.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with friends. For books on American English, click the links in the channel description.